Yes, Mrs. Patton. All part of the service, 7:30 on the dot. Pleasure. Bye-bye.
Early call for some lucky lad, eh?
And right on your doorstep, Sydney. Reading Gardens, not far as the crow flies, is it?
Oh, come on, be fair. 7:30 in the morning at my age, you're joking.
Wait till you see Mrs. Patterson.
Why? Go ahead.
Blonde, 25, works on a health farm, very liberated.
Say no more.
Just watch out for Mr. Patterson, because he's all muscle and 15 stone and a home-loving type.
Oh, we've got to be a snack.
Oh, one thing he could not beat you at, my darling, that's a lovely cup of tea.
You'll miss that when you get to Brussels, I tell you that.
Yeah.
Any news on that? You had a date fixed?
I'll let you know, I promise.
I tell you one thing, you needn't worry about this place while you're away. Because Mac and I, well, we'll run this place as smooth as silk on a shuttle. Do us a favour, though, while you're there. Get us one of those statuettes, you know, the little boy.
Certainly not.
Oh, come on, be a sport. Everyone brings one of those little boys back from Brussels.
I'll think about it, see how it goes, okay?
Yeah, well, exactly.
Hey, Sid, did you give that American job to Nobby?
Yeah, why?
Oh. Well, he's only road tested it 4 times since lunch.
Oh, listen, you're only young ones. The bloke's not picking it up till Saturday anyway, is he?
Yeah, well, I don't want him to go taking it home either. No joyriding to impress his chick, okay?
As if I'd allow that. Do me a favour.
Or turning a blind eye. I'm leaving early this afternoon.
Got something good on, have you?
Oh, just the family. I haven't seen him for a while. I'm going to pop in and see him. Got to sort somewhere to shift all my stuff to, you know.
Why did you pack it in? The state you're in, you won't need that stuff again.
I don't know about that.
I thought you were coming to stay with us, with Mavis and I. She likes the idea, right? She said you need looking after.
Yeah, well, look, I haven't decided one way or the other, okay?
Well, hurry up, mate. Dobson will want you out soon, right?
Yeah, I'm trying for extra time.
You'll be lucky. Listen, throw in with us. Take a chance, right? We got a lovely room for you overlooking the park. Well, practically.
Look, just let me breathe a bit. I'll definitely let you know this weekend.
Do that.
Will you have a drink with me, Mrs. Pollard?
Well, the bar isn't open yet.
But it is about to be.
I didn't come in here for a drink. I came in because the place was empty. I have a headache. I wanted to be on my own.
An escape from oneself. I quite understand.
Are you married too, then?
No.
Well, then you can have no understanding whatsoever of my headache.
Oh, but I have. I'm divorced, you see.
Oh, you must tell me all about it. Tomorrow night, when we dine with Mrs. Hunter.
It's about our dinner tomorrow night that I'm here tonight.
Wouldn't it be more appropriate to come about our dinner tomorrow night?
Pardon? Oh, it's occurred to me that Mrs. Harvey might have misunderstood when I telephoned her yesterday. I hope she told you and Mrs. Hunter that my invitation to you was to dine at a restaurant of my own choosing.
No, she said you intended to entertain us here.
Well, I'm sure you'd prefer a change of cuisine. I know a very good little place in town.
But if we were to eat here, as I live here, I shouldn't have so far to go home, would I?
Well, I trust your headache won't prevent you joining Mrs. Hunter and me tomorrow, wherever we dine. Why not look on the bright side? Assume that you'll be recovered, in which case I'll book a table at that little place I've just mentioned, and then, well, if you can't join us after all...
You'll express intense regret and whisk Mrs. Hunter off to dine tete-a-tete.
Well, it would be a pity to cancel the engagement altogether. You could join us another time.
I take it this little, place you mention is a restaurant adjacent to your flat where you can repair afterwards for brandy and coffee and a little soft music. Have you any information about the bypass?
None I can divulge.
Pity. Because if you were hoping to make a habit of dining with Mrs. Hunter, myself present or not, it might be a good idea to find some that you can divulge.
Good heavens. Must rush. 6 o'clock.
Yes, have a nice day. Thank you.
Jolly nice talking.
Lovely. Bye-bye.
Oh, Gail, will you pass this on to Mrs. Harvey and say I shan't be able to deal with it tomorrow night,
Yes,
as I shall be
course.
struggling through dinner with Councillor Berry.
Struggling?
Well, it will be a rather unbalanced occasion.
Unbalanced?
Well, yes, 2 women and 1 man. Perhaps you'd like me to ask my husband to join up and make a foursome.
The other alternative would be to ask Mrs. Pollard to sit out and make it a twosome.
Oh, you may depend on Mrs. Pollard wanting to be there. I mean, she's as interested as I am in knowing whether you've done anything about pointing the bypass away from the motel.
I have laboured mightily, be sure of it.
And with what results?
Well, it's surprising the things I can influence when I've been, how shall I put it, attracted to do so by a gracious lady.
Yes, I noticed that you were attracted to Mrs. Pollard.
My dear Mrs. Hunter, I can assure you, I find yourself even more... Oh, Mr. Hunter.
Good evening, Councillor.
Councillor Berry was just saying that he found me even more...
Stubborn than Mrs. Pollard.
Stubborn?
I came here to insist that I repay your wife's hospitality and Mrs. Pollard's at a restaurant of my own choosing. But I fear neither lady will grant me that privilege. So, tomorrow night, here, 7:30. Now, where is that most attentive dining room manager of yours? I'd like to consult him about the menu.
You'll find him in the dining room, perhaps, if you hurry.
Hurry?
He's leaving Friday.
Oh, yes. Well, then.
There's no way I'm going to be able to shift all that stuff and get out in a couple of weeks.
Well, don't let him push you. You haven't even signed a contract yet, remember?
Yeah. And I wonder how much time he's going to give me when we have.
He won't hang about. Oh, I didn't even know why you want to sell at all. Why don't you rent it out, furnished? Then you'd really make it pay. Selling to Dobson's like... Well, it's like chucking your money away.
Yeah, it's too late to get out of it now.
Not legally, no.
I did sign a kind of agreement with him, you know.
Yeah, one of his favourite tricks, that. Impresses the client. There's nothing binding about it. Oh, he'll cut up rough, but... Well, if you decide to back out now, you won't be able to do much. You haven't had any payment from him, have you?
Oh, no.
No, Dobson's checks are always in the post. No, seriously, mate, you think about it. If you let him have that house, you're not going to make a farthing. You'll get next to nothing for your furniture. But if you leave it a month or two, well, you'll be able to find a nice little place and have an extra source of income.
Save a lot of hassle right now,
Well,
that
there
will.
you are, then. Hello, love. Didn't know you were in.
Mum's not very well. I've just been helping her get to bed. Hello, Mike.
Hello, Glenda.
What's wrong?
Well, it's not that flu virus, is it? Could be pretty nasty, that could.
Yeah, I expect it's that.
Yeah, well, she's in the right place, isn't she? With you to look after her. Look, thanks for that idea, Kev.
You couldn't go wrong, mate.
Look, give my love to Kev, will you?
Yes, sir.
Look, I'll give you a bell tomorrow and tell you how I decide, okay?
Okay. Cheers.
Cheers, man.
There you go.
Ciao.
3 souls to Dobson at that price is a mug. Just been selling him.
It's not the flu, Kevin.
What?
Mum, I didn't want to say anything in front of Matt, but I'm worried sick. I think she's heading for a breakdown.
Kath? Never. What gave you that idea?
She just keeps crying all the time. I've never seen her like this. They even had to let her go home from work this morning.
Oh, heck. Mind you, I'm not surprised. She was too calm by half after Dad died. I mean, look at the way she coped with the funeral arrangements and everything. I suppose she was bound to crack sometime.
Yeah. Well, I've made an appointment for her to see the doctor in the morning. She won't want to go, but she's just got to. I mean, if she doesn't get some sort of treatment, she's going to get worse.
What she needs is a rest.
That's what I keep telling her. It's funny, you know. I didn't realise how much she loved Dad. Oh, I knew they were fond of each other, but in a jokey way, you know, just Mum and Dad. Family love.
That can go deep, love.
She's broken up, Kevin. She really is.
Come in.
I bring you a parting gift. A full rundown of the efficient way I ran the restaurant, which I'm sure you'll find of inestimable value to my successor. My handwriting is quite good, but perhaps you'd like to have it typed out for me.
Well, that's very thoughtful of you, Paul.
You know, Barbara, you almost made me wish I wasn't going so soon. Perhaps I should prolong the party. Would it help if I asked Paris to let me stay on a week or so? Make sure you find a successor half as good as I was?
You could do that?
But you must realize I'm not leaving this place just to become another dining room manager somewhere else. No, no, no. Gaston Pérouse, if not the largest, but certainly the most expensive hotel chain on the continent, is offering me a directorship. As such, I will carry weight, executive weight, not just any kind of weight.
Paul, will you just stop performing for once and tell me why you might not go to Paris this weekend?
It just happens that I've not been able to get in touch with them to confirm my acceptance of the offer, so,
Doesn't that worry you? I thought you had to confirm by today.
No, no, no. He's a very rich man, flits about the world buying, selling places. There's nothing unnatural.
Hello? Paul, it's a Frenchman.
Gaston?
Monsieur Perouse? Yes, he is here. Just hold on a minute.
Where are you going?
Well, you would like to talk in private, wouldn't you?
How's your French?
Not that fantastic.
Stay. Gaston? Oui, c'est moi, Paul.
That, Mr. Banks, sir, was bordering on the rather pleasant. What sort of smile is that? Is that the best you can manage? It's better now, come on. Take your coat off and sit down. What sort of a day have you had?
Well, the usual.
Rushed off your feet. When are you going to slow down?
Never.
That's what I like to hear.
Marion came round last night.
You are Sid Hooper's favourite person. Did you know that?
Huh?
It's true.
Why on earth should I?
These little glimpses of power you keep dangling in front of him.
In what way?
In charge, when I'm away.
Oh, yes, that.
Gone to his head. He can't wait to get shot of it.
Man's a fool.
Oh. But the thing is, you see, there's a very subtle battle going on.
Battle?
Yes, between him and Mac about who's second in command, as if it mattered.
Oh, doesn't it?
No. When I'm there, I make the decisions. When I'm not, they mind the shop. Simple as that. But if I had to choose, I'd say it's going to be Mac, you know.
Not much good in the office.
No. Who told you that?
Sid.
Anyhow, give him a taste of power and there's no holding him. Have you managed to pave the way?
Hmm?
With Sally about Brussels. You said something about having done some business there before and...
Yes.
Did she buy it?
It wasn't necessary as it happened. I'm afraid she knows all about us.
I'll get you a drink.
Thank you. I'd rather you found me somewhere in the world one trustworthy Frenchman.
Didn't you have anything in writing? I mean, couldn't you sue?
Gaston Perouse never puts anything in writing that would compromise his talent for breaking his word. Apart from that being the most unemployed man in the universe, I'm in no position to sue anybody.
Speak to David.
Thank you, but I think a great deal of David, but not enough to expect him to have mercy on me twice in 2 days.
Farewell drinks so soon.
Consolation drink. Gaston Perouse has just telephoned to say that Paul was too late in accepting the Paris offer.
The French have logical minds. They can make anything sound like something else. I was to accept by today, not today.
Yes, but you couldn't reach him.
So the post was given to somebody else this morning.
And only just before Monsieur Perouse called, Paul offered to ask him if he couldn't stay on another week to help us out.
That reminds me, has the revised roster been typed out? So there'll be no dislocation on Friday. It was Friday you said you'd be leaving, Paul.
It was Friday, and it shall be Friday.
Where will you go?
Sorry.
What?
I heard Barbara ask where you were going. I didn't catch the answer.
There is no answer discernible to me right now. I shall probably leave it to the taxi man.
Send us a postcard.
David, I was wondering. I mean, Paul wouldn't be going anywhere if it wasn't for Monsieur Perouse. And now the offer's fallen through.
You feel he may as well stay here?
Well, yes, he'll be certainly missed, wouldn't he?
Yes. But in precisely what way? As a loyal employee of the motel? Or as someone who would leave us in the lurch?
I am not asking for a second chance.
Then you will understand that with all your comings and goings, no one could ever be quite sure where they stood with you.
There will be no more comings, only a final going.
I don't understand.
In the event I wish to serve out my sentence properly and punctiliously, should you require to have a meal here tonight, would you like to give me your order now?
Then we cancel.
Why?
There's no way I'm going through with it.
Well, the only difference is that now...
She knows, Oliver. That's all the difference in the world. Sorry. Was it awful?
I expected it to be.
Yeah, of course.
What I didn't expect was...
Oh, God, tell me.
She'd known for about a week. She hadn't said a word. Wouldn't have done either if it hadn't been for Marion.
Why?
Her way of coping.
Oh, poor lady.
Well, it had to come sooner or later. We had to face it. I feel better now we have. The little lies mount up. Get so that you can't really see the truth. I see it every time I look at you. Clear as daylight. Remember that. Please.
I never dreamed I could be so cruel to anyone.
Now you're being unfair to yourself.
Somehow I don't think she'd agree with you there. Her whole life is in pieces because of me.
Because of us.
That doesn't lessen it, darling.
We didn't plan it. We didn't go around looking for it. It just happened. In its way, it was innocent. Wide-eyed and innocent. It was love that got me. You can't stop that. The other things followed. I think of you every moment of the day. I want to be with you. I want to touch you. I watch you in the office, get up from your desk and go out through the door, and I'm happy just looking at you. All those things, all those wants. But love came first, and I can't go back on that, not anymore. You mean too much. I say you feel the same.
Sorry to be late. I was confirming the matter in question.
I'm not sure what the matter in question is supposed to be.
Vacancy for a dining room manager.
Oh, there's no need for you to concern yourself with a routine matter like that.
Oh, I felt I should, David. After all, I put in the man who's going. Unfortunately, he failed to justify my confidence, or yours. However, I have made amends. A first-rate manager is concluding his duties at my marina in Scotland. He will be here on Saturday. You will find him industrious, honest, and loyal.
Loyal to whom? I mean, has had Paul Ross a personal contract with you, over and above the one you wish the motel to give him?
Oh, that's why I can stand over him. It's also why you can have him cheap, half the price of Paul Ross.
An inconvenient moment?
Oh, no, come on in. We were just discussing your successor. Oh, incidentally, Gaston phoned me today. I gather you were out of time in responding to his offer.
Gaston Perouse telephoned you before or after he decided the Paul was too late?
I really felt no need to note the time of day. However, since you're here, Paul, which of my men at the marina would you say was the most capable of stepping into your shoes?
Ralph Sebegi.
There. What better recommendation could you have? It is Sebegi who's on his way.
I trust he's got a return ticket. You see, J. Henry, there is no vacancy for your new spy here, since your old one, although no longer in your employment, has decided to remain in the motels. Correct?
Quite correct.